Part 2. Alright. Everyone ignore, too, the start of the last video. I noticed I was uploading it. I kind of look like a pirate. My eye kind of like squinted weird, so everyone ignore that. Yeah. Just skip like the first like 5 seconds. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's clear. So yeah, back to Deoxys speed. Now, Deoxys speed, again, the fact it could nearly OHKO a Mega Venusaur is rather frightening. If it's physically defensive after rocks, it is a guaranteed 1KO with Life Orb Psycho Boost. Now, that's scary. I mean, granted, Psycho Boost is powerful, but have people seen Mega Venusaur's defenses? Have they seen them? It's like Littlefoot on about 20 years worth of steroids. Okay? Okay. Now, and the fact it got moves like Ice Beam, so even like maybe defensive or whatever, especially defensive Dragonite. Dragonite wasn't safe. If rocks were up, it was gone. Thunderbolt, so like no water types were safe. Like Gyarados was fried to a crisp. Even Mega Gyarados was, after rocks, just done, because if it comes in regular form, it's 25 still. Then it gets electrocuted and turned into sushi. Actually, if people look at Mega Gyarados carefully enough, if you compact it, it looks like sushi. Yeah, it looks like frickin' sushi. And I got a text message. I apologize for that. But yeah, I was trying to get in touch with someone, hoping everything was alright with them. But yeah, so basically, yeah, like sushi. But there's people shooting fireworks on frickin' July 19th. Makes total sense to me. Sure. Because where I live, people are clearly very logical people. But yeah. So basically, It's BS that, in a sense, though, because it's only real. See, which is funny, because when it was in the meta, the people bitching about Aegis Slash now, probably, you know, if Deoxys S was there, I don't know if as many people would be bitching and moaning. You know why? Aegis Slash is a hard counter to it. Unless it had randomly Fire Punch or Hidden Power Fire in the Sun with Life Orb, which is obscenely random. I didn't see much of. Usually you want the fighting coverage for Tyranitar, like whether it be Focus Miss if you're feeling lucky, or low kicks. T-Tar's fat. Yes, he is. He needs to go on Weight Watchers. Or Superpower. And ignore my cheeky humor. I'm being very cheeky right now. I'm in a pretty decent mood, so I'm being a little cheeky. So those things, those 3, but usually not Focus Miss, because unless someone's stupid. Sorry, people. If you're on Focus Miss on something you don't have to, you probably shouldn't be running it. Yeah, just saying. Yeah. So Superpower and Low Kick, and that basically ran out its coverage, and it really had save Aegis Slash, and maybe the rare now in OU on like 5th Gen, especially Defensive Jellicent, there was no check to it. Those two were about as close as you humanly got to countering the Speed Demon. So, and it outsped Garchomp. If a Garchomp is Adamant Scarfed, Max Speed Deoxys still outspeeds it. Deoxys S. That's what 504 Speed does for you, kids. That's what it does. Okay? Yep. It's pretty loopy, isn't it? But yeah, oh god, I'm calling people kids facetiously. No one take offense to it. I'm just screwing around because I'm like, again, I'm in a rather cheeky mood because I'm salty about that game I explained last video, and I'm also in a rather decent mood at the same time, which is odd considering I should be saltier. I should really be saltier. For whatever reason, I'm not. In fact, I might eat a pretzel in about 5 seconds. How professional would that be? But who cares? So yeah. Anyway, like I said, Thunderbolt for Gyarados. It had all the coverage it needed to kill and counter major threats. Like Breloom, if its sash was broken, Ice Beam done. You don't even need to Psycho Boost that thing. It's just so frail, especially, and even physically, it's not that bulky. Like I've seen Banded Crunch from Tyranitar to full health Breloom do like 45, 50%. Like, and it resists it. Like Loom is frail. Like Loom is very frail, which is the one downfall too, which is nice. Nice. Well, and considering Here's the other thing that kind of irritates me. The only real... Now, people got to think about this. The only full-out stops to Mega Venusaur, and not even stops technically, because you can't switch Talonflame into a Sludge Bomb, period. You can't switch into anything. It's so frail and flimsy. You can maybe switch Keldeo into Giga Drain, theoretically, but you take like 65% damage. Maybe 75. But Specs Hidden Power Flying, clean 2 it KOs it, which is very nice. Talonflame is Banded Brave Bird. 1-hit KOs it, no matter what variant it is. The evolution of this cute little thing right here. Like I said in my previous video, not the one, but the one before this. 2 before this, I should say. Till its eyes narrow and it gets all ugly. Now it's so cute. Look at it. It's only normal flying. It's so cute. Cuter than Pidgey could ever be. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. My little fletchling. So cute. So cute. But yeah. My loving of that, my very much loving and enjoyment of that fletchling plushie aside, Talonflame and Keldeo, there is not much else that can really, I don't know, I mean, which is funny. Not only do I have a fletchling plushie, I have a Keldeo too. Small bit of irony. And Life Orb, Extrasensory Greninja. Those are about the only things that can 2-hit KO Mega Venusaur. I'm not really counting Deoxys Speed because it's a nuke when it has Life Orb. So that doesn't even quote. But there's not much in OU that can deal with it. So in a way, it's a really big curse that it's gone. And basically, it forced someone, if you ran Mega Venusaur, you basically had to run Aegislash or like Bisharp and correctly predict the correctly predict the Psycho Boost to switch Bisharp in, because you're not taking a low kick or superpower. No way. And then Sucker Punch Deoxys to death, or Pursuit if it switches, if you can predict that well. Or, obviously, Aegislash completely walls it, and who the hell cares what it does to Aegislash, because it can't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Or 20-foot. Or 30-foot. Hell, a 50-foot. Why not? We'll skip 40. Yeah. So, and I just said skip 40, so for those things I can't do math, I'm not that great at math, but I still do some kind of math. Little tiny bit. So yeah, Deoxys S, my final verdict, little more understandable being banned. At the same time, it had a few counters, like 2 or 3 probably counters. I don't remember the other 2 offhand, but there were a few counters. Mostly though the rest were checked. Even Heatran, if it had a -1 from superpower, it couldn't do anything to Heatran, because Tran's just that good. It couldn't touch it if it's at -1. It can't. So the logic there is a little bit, but Even Scissor, if it didn't have Hidden Power Fire, Scissor with max HP and some special defense wasn't taking much from that attack. But yeah, at the same time, it's understandable. I mean, I guess it is, but yeah. So I don't really know, and like I said, my enjoyment of my fletchling plushie aside, and all the jokes about those pokes aside, Talonflame, Keldeo, and what's the other one? Greninja. I just freaking said it. I should really remember. Are really the only ones who could deal with Mega Venusaur, sans Deoxys S now being gone. Well, actually, take that back too, because Alakazam can, particularly Mega, because Mega with the slightly increased special defense can even switch into a Sludge Bomb, and as long as it doesn't get poisoned, it's fine. And then Psychic just obliterates it, because I think Megazam has either 170 or 175 special attack, something asinine, something ridiculous, something on border with Deoxys A's attack stats. Like, that's just broken as shit, and it's too strong. Thankfully, any priority like Extreme Speed, Bullet Punch, whatever, even Banded Aqua Jet from a Bear Tick would just kill it. I mean, it's just so frail physically. Banded Aqua Jet from Armaldo, definitely from Azumarill. I mean, there's nothing. Megazam has no defense, just like regular, and none. So, but again, final verdict on Deoxys S is kind of Metsamez. I was kind of for the ban. At the same time, it ruined too many of my OU teams for me to give a shit, and I'm not too pleased. So I'm a little conflicted there, but what can I do, I guess shit happens like that, and people, they wanted it banned, they got it. But whatever. Just hope Aegislash doesn't get banned. Yeah, as everyone can tell, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not going to explain that again. So, but yeah, anyway. So the next part, I was going to go into what I said about Actually, again, you know what, I'll talk a little more about Deoxys because who is the other? Well, actually, there is one other counter, but this is only if it's at -2 from Psycho Boost. Assault Vest Azumarill could take its hits very easily, even a Thunderbolt with Life Orb at -2 with Assault Vest, it's not touching Azumarill. And then if you knock off, it's done. Period. End of story. Even Ferrothorn, if it's at -1 from Superpower, Ferrothorn comes down on anything all day and just sits there and gyroballs it to death. But considering some of those Deoxys, now here's the other thing I found interesting about this. And I think this varied based on the person using it. There would be a few people I would see, I'd see the review spreads because some of them were on YouTube, and there were a couple I know who just told me they did this. Why is beyond me. They would run, well, probably 2 people told me they did this. The rest I pretty much had to see for myself to actually even believe that some people did this, which in a sense is understandable. But you're not going to outspeed a lot of faster Scarfers if you do this, so I'd be careful when Deoxys was OU. Now it's not an issue, but people would run max attack and max special attack. Now that befuddles me to no end. You do not need max attack to get the kills you need with superpower or low kick. You don't. Tyranitar's fat, so low kick just gone. Superpower obviously gone unless it's Chopple. Then you're screwed. Because every T-Tar is max HP, come on. Unless it's Dragon Dance or something random like the Dragon Dance Mega. Because that's a thing. But it did not make a whole lot of logical sense to me, but that's also, I guess, maybe it's the type of player I am. I personally would run the speed. You outspeed Adamant, Scarf, Garchomp, for heaven's sake. That's something to be impressed with. Because Chomp is... So, Poke-Aim's Garchomp that he had in one of his teams, outsped. Like, that's the thing. Like, though I don't know, I think because... And Joey point blank said, because no one expects that, which he's correct. No one does really expect that. He's right. Most people expect the plus speed nature on the Scarfers. Only, stuff like Azumarill can you really get away with Adamant Band. You don't need max speed because Azumarill is way too slow, typically. Unless you want outspeed defensive Rotom, because you outspeed it by, I think, like 2 points you're fully invested. Same thing goes for CB Crawdon. So it serves, like, no purpose other than that. There's almost literally no point to running max speed on things like that, or close to max. But if you want to, see, whereas things like Mawile, there are things you want to get rid of. So you want to run about... 64, 56, 60, something like that to outspeed T-Tar and get rid of it with Play Rough. There are certain speed benchmarks that are understandable to want to reach. I may even be wrong there. I haven't used Mega Mawile enough recently to know, but I've only have it on 2 teams out of like 120 something, so don't quote me on that, but kind of just speculating. So, but yeah, Mega Mawile is one of those. Azumarill could be in Crawdon, but they both die to Rotom Wash anyway. Crawdon has no special bulk. Azumarill just gets burned. So, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'll never quite understand the logic of people who would run max attack, max special attack. You don't need to. You can give about 104, 108, 112 EVs in attack. That's good. That gives us some nice oomph if you want some nice little, some boom, some bang for your buck. And then dump the rest in speed and max special attack with Life Orb. With like Hasty or Naive. But why on earth would you frickin' run max attack? That's asinine, to be honest, at least in my opinion. But whatever. I guess some people think speed's enough, or they had T-Wave. I don't know. But, whatever. That's their preference, I guess. So yeah. But, I think that's about it. So, and again, my final verdict on S is, if I'd say yay or nay, I'd say more yay than nay for it getting banned. But at the same time, I'm kind of disgruntled, because again, I had plenty of Team in OU with that damn alien on it, and now... Sad face, because I have to remake some of those teams, and that's upsetting, and it takes work, and that's annoying. But yeah, and time, which is annoying too. So yeah, so now I was gonna segue here into what I said last video about Pokemon in there's a Pokemon, so there are quite a few Pokemon actually can do this in lower tiers that are actually very good in OU when used in impractical ways. But I'm not going to do that because I want to tell a little story first. Now, I've talked about my friend in the past on here who had a lot of problems. Like he and I more or less went through hell. So did his brother. We all went through because it was almost up to me and his brother to help him. He was gay. He was in the closet, and and even in this day and age, I guess for people, and I know this is a very random Pokemon to segue into this, but I kind of want to, only because there's something I noticed, and now people may not get the correlation immediately, but I'll explain it. Because it, to a degree, doesn't involve games, but what it involves is, and because he and I talked about this a few days ago again, so I started thinking about it, and he more or less told me, he was like, I wasn't happy like doing anything either. I just like got really down. I was really just like not. I didn't feel like great at all. I felt like crap all the time. I kind of want to just crawl into like a ball. I'm like you weren't being honest with yourself and you were living a lie. Like how else could you feel? If someone felt good and natural doing that, then that means they're used to it. Or it means they're comfortably numb, comfortably miserable, whatever you want to call it. They're comfortably in their own sort of murk of their mind. And where that doesn't segue into games, but I want to make a little correlation for you people. Because I went through this too. Like I went through something like this. But for many a different reason than that. But my first year of college, I was basically a big stressed out mess. And I hated it. I couldn't stand it. And I eventually brought that to my parents, and they claim they don't remember that, which is a little crap, because I told them that, so whatever. Think whatever the hell they want. Because I did. I am very vocal, as most people can tell. I wouldn't make these videos if I wasn't a vocal human being. I wouldn't be sitting here basically talking to myself and then letting you people watch it. I wouldn't be doing that if I wasn't a vocal human being and like to vocalize. Now, and see, here's the thing, and I noticed this too with people. I think, and this happened to my buddy back then, when stuff internally is wrong, or when you know something is wrong, and when you know you're not being, maybe honest, I guess is the word, because I know he wasn't being, and he said he felt like, curl up in a ball, he felt like he didn't enjoy stuff. I wasn't enjoying stuff back then, but that, when you're a stressed out, anxious mess, and when you're taking 6 classes your first semester, people don't do that. If you're 18, and you're starting college, don't fucking do what I did. Don't be an idiot like me. I'm calling myself an idiot. I was an idiot. I deserved to be. That was stupid. It was stupidity on my part. And basically, now this, can everyone guess who that is in that picture? Oh crap, I should cover that part up. Yeah, there we go. I don't want people seeing what the university was if they didn't already see it, but see that guy in that picture? Oh wait, over what? There we go, over a little bit. See that guy right there? I'm sure people can guess who that is. Look familiar? That's me. That's me. With all that curl and all that, that's me. And what I was trying to say before is that what sometimes, damn it, oh my god, my finger is just failing me. What the hell? Alright, there. Like, see, what is sometimes inside can manifest on the outside. Look how long, damn it, camera. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Look at how long my hair is. Okay? And I'll tell you something about my buddy. His hair, well, but he was in a band, so you know what? I'll excuse that a little more. His hair was quite the piece of work, almost artwork back then, because it was just, I don't know if it was a band thing or what kicking in, but again, we hung out a lot. I wasn't going to judge it, but I was like, whoa, okay. So, yeah. But, I mean, I knew. After I found out, I'm like, it makes sense. Because, and I was, at least for me, I was expressing all the crap, all the bullshit that I was going through internally with college and with BS, and that was the time I met my first real girlfriend, and she was a piece of work, as I explained in past videos, and oh my god, and thanks to someone really, well, helping me, more or less, I basically broken free of her hold, thankfully. She had sort of like, some women get their claws into you, they don't let go, believe me. So take my advice, if you got a girl like that in your life, cut her loose. Okay, gotta use a pair of scissors, cut her loose. That's simple. And break the hold, however you gotta do it. But yeah, so, and that I think was a reflection of what I was feeling internally, and I could not express enough words, enough sentiment, enough anything to express how vehemently frustrated I was to my parents or apparently to anybody who it was concerned with, which really sucked. And that, damn it, I cannot do, Never mind. I'm trying to point to my hair. Everyone gets it. And that's the result. And I mean, yes, for anyone wondering, I did wear regular glasses at one point in my life. So people were like, oh my god, he's always sunglasses on when he starts every video. Yeah, I do. But I honestly, I'm going to be quite blunt with people. I can't see without them. I literally can't see without them. I mean, I can see, but not, like, I'm like 180 vision. I only met one person with shittier vision than me, and that was last weekend, so that surprised the hell out of me. Because my vision is utter trash. It's worse than, let's see, it's worse than 10 landfills, basically. So yeah, that, not the hawk. Oh my god. Yep, I'm trying to point to me. Yep, right. See, that's what happens. At least to some people. Now, I won't say it happens to everybody, but I think, well, and I'll explain the other logic to it too. There was another bit of logic. It wasn't just all the crap I had going on, like I said, with my current ex, and with school being overwhelming, anxiety, all's BS. I went through a Catholic school rebellion phase. Now, I don't think that's the same thing as some other people's logic as to why I did that, or even my friends, even though he went to the sort of rival school of mine, but it was part of mine, because I was like, forget this, screw Catholic school, I want to grow my damn hair, and I did. That was part of it too, but it was also because I wanted to kind of like, I wanted control of it, because I didn't have control of, it felt like anything else, because I just didn't, because I made a very stupid choice with the classes, with so many things. My advisor was a fucking idiot. So, and that manifested externally. And yeah, it really sucked. And it was awful. It was atrocious. It was terrible. But yeah. And I'm probably gonna cut this at 25 minutes, 'cause that's long enough. And then I'll hope if there has to be a third part, there'll be a third part, and that'll be probably the end. But yeah, and that's for my friend. And see, the thing is, because he asked me something the other day. And this question intrigued me and still haunts me, because I think there are plenty of people who go through stuff like this. Something similar, at least. He said to me, have you ever been so afraid to feel something because you were afraid not only of how you were and who you were, which doesn't necessarily apply to me, but he was obviously applying to himself, and of who you felt it for. Because of who you felt it for, I should say, as well. And I'm like the look, this was the look on my face, like, I was just, if there'd been a cartoon somewhere, I'd pick my jaw off the floor. So, befuddled, I sat there, and I'm like, well, bro, I'm like, because, honestly, it's like, now, oh god, I don't want to say that song. Oh my god, there's a song like that. I don't want to say who I listen to. Oh my god, so it's almost embarrassing. But, and I told him, yeah, because I mean, my ex, because of the shit she really put me through, like put me through an emotional ringer for a bit, in terms of like, I'll be honest with her, she wanted kids at 20 years old, and that to me was not. I kind of wanted a life. I've told a bunch of people about this, and those are my exact. I wanted a life. I didn't want. No. And I guess she talked about that with one of her other exes too before they broke up. And most sane guys are not gonna go for that by the time they're 20, because it's impractical. It's just not. It's not the greatest choice. Oh dear God, almost out of time. That's why I'm squinting a lot. Don't mind me. But yeah. And I told him, I'm like, bro, like, I guess for my ex, really, that's about the only person I can think of. And basically, he tells me too, because he had told me this in a different way before. Maybe he didn't remember. Maybe he felt the need to say it again. I'm not quite sure. But he more or less told me, he's like, Matt, because that is my name. Matt's my, for anyone wondering, I've said this in previous videos. I really don't care if people know it. Yeah, my name's Matt. Woohoo, you want a medal for that? Because it actually, funnily enough, it says my name on the damn ID. Everyone want to read it? Go ahead, read it. I won't tell you what my middle name is. I'm not saying it. I don't like my middle name that much. I just don't. Possibly because it sounds too, I don't know, it just sounds too stuck up. But yes, my last name is Hughes. Yeah, everyone, whatever. So yeah. He basically said, he's like, well, back then, he's like, when you really, like, you and my brother were always there, and he's like, it's like I was just, it was so hard, like, not, you know, wanting to be around anybody, including you, as much, because he's like, I was so afraid of what I was starting to feel for you, because he's, you know, gay, and so I was just like, I mean, he had told me that another way before, as I said, so I knew he'd had, like, a crush on me, but I was like, I was kind of, like, blown away. I'm like, me? I'm like, really? I'm thinking of myself. First of all, I'm thinking, am I that attractive? Okay. I was like, okay. But yeah, so I'm going to end this like right about now, actually. But yeah, so I'll continue this in part 3. It'll probably be a part 3 up tonight. Like I said, so suspense. But yeah, and when he said that, I'm just like, I didn't really know what to say. But I just didn't. So yeah, I'll continue this in part 3. And I will see you all then. So stick around. There'll be more. And I may get into that Pokemon thing in the next part if there's enough time at the end. Just a little bit. And then I would continue that in a couple days because I don't really want to make 4 videos. I don't want to flood people too much. It's kind of annoying. But yeah. Anyway, I will see you all in part 3. But yeah, that was too close. There we go. Trace. But yeah, and like I said, he was just, you know, and because he wasn't being honest with those feelings. And sometimes, I guess if you would have feelings for your friend, it's hard. That's a very hard thing to face. Very, very hard. I can't imagine if I ever would feel like that. That would be, in any way, that would be like, whoa. I can't imagine what he was going through, and I don't know if I want to. But yeah, anyway, like I said, part trace coming up. This is MD865, and I'm out of here. Bye, everybody.